Welcome to this video session. In this video, we are going to see a peculiar cycle, thermodynamic cycle, which is known as Stirling cycle. This is also comes under air standard cycle, but it is comparatively different from the previous the cycle which we have discussed in previous videos. Let us see how Stirling cycle works and how we can derive the efficiency of Stirling cycle. Stirling cycle engine is a closed cycle regenerative heat engine. It is also called as closed cycle regenerative engine. And it is an example of external combustion engine, whereas the previous cycles are it's used in the internal combustion engines. And Stirling engines are in Stirling engine energy conversion device. Stirling engine is the energy conversion device which is primarily used in the prime movers. Prime movers is nothing but the device which is kickstart the system, mechanical system, any other system like power plant or or any other system, that the device which is kickstart the system, bigger system, is called as prime movers. So Stirling engine is used as the prime mover, and it's also used as the refrigerating engines or heat pumps. Currently, they are using they are mainly used Stirling cycle and the cryogenic cooling system, and it has low noise and low emission. And Stirling cycle is not used in the regular automobile, since it is very difficult to change the power output of the Stirling cycle compared that the regular conventional diesel and Otto cycle. So it is not widely used in automobiles application, and moreover it tends to heavier as well as expensive compared to the gasoline or diesel cycle. This is the PV and TS diagram of Stirling cycle. As similar to previous cycle, there are 4 processes happen in Stirling cycle as well. The 4 processes are compression, heat addition, expansion and heat rejection. The difference in the Stirling cycle is both compression and expansion takes place isothermally. That means when the temperature remains constant, compression and expansion takes place, whereas heat addition and heat rejection takes when the volume remains constant. This is the main difference compared to the Carnot cycle, or else it is almost similar to the Carnot cycle. When we compare the Carnot cycle, this is the typical Carnot cycle PV diagram, where compression and expansion takes place isentropically and heat addition and heat rejection takes place isothermally, whereas in this Stirling cycle, heat addition and heat rejection takes place when the volume remains constant, and compression and expansion takes place when the temperature remains constant. For PV diagram, for the Stirling engine cycle, we know that heat addition and heat rejection takes place when temperature remains constant. So heat addition takes place when the temperature is maximum of the cycle, and heat rejection takes place when the temperature is minimum for the entire cycle. So we know this relationship which we had derived in our basic thermodynamics. That relation is nothing but heat addition is nothing but RT or MRT into ln of V4 by V3 when the temperature remains constant, and mass we are assuming as 1 kg, and the temperature is the maximum temperature, and the heat addition is nothing but RT max ln of V4 by V3, and same way heat rejection is nothing but R into T minimum ln of V1 by V2, and we know that V4 is equal to V1 and V3 is equal to V2, because 4 to 1 and 3 to 1 both the processes happen when the volume remains constant, that is expansion and compression process. Since V4 is equal to V1 and V3 is equal to V2, we can relate this V4 by V3 is equal to V1 by V2, that is equal to compression ratio. So, substitute the value of Q addition minus heat rejection, and we can remove this term, first term. So, Q addition is same. So, we can replace this by 1, and heat rejected divided by heat addition. Heat rejected, in previous slide we had explained that RT ln of V4 by V1 and RT ln of V1 by V2, and we know that these two are compression ratio and this is common. So, we can remove these two and the as well as the value of R. So, left out is 1 minus T minimum by T maximum. This is almost similar to the Carnot cycle efficiency. From this term we can easily find out the Stirling efficiency and the Carnot cycle efficiency are same. In final, to conclude, the Stirling efficiency is nothing but or is equal to the difference between 1 minus the ratio of temperature, minimum temperature to the maximum temperature. That is it, guys. Next class we see how an IC engines construction takes place and what are the different types of IC engine and how classification of IC engine takes place. Till then, cheers, bye, take care.